days away from flying over to New Zealand to start the Te Araroa Trail. And for me, I'll be solo backpacking the entire length of the South Island of New Zealand, about 1,400 kilometres, and it'll take me probably around 3 months, but my body's going to dictate that. So I thought I'd talk about just a few of the last minute preparations, how I'm feeling, what I'm worried about, how I'm feeling in general actually. Some of the complexities I think probably most through hikers face in the last few weeks before they depart, because it can be a bit of a stressy time, and yes, it has been for me. I thought you would appreciate hearing about my planned filming and publishing schedule as far as the YouTube channel is concerned. I'm going to chat about gear, the one item that I have changed. I've had a failure with one of my pieces of gear as well, one of my key pieces. And also I wanted to talk about the trail angel culture over in New Zealand, because gosh, you know, it's a really special thing. And lastly, of course, about the risk, because hiking the Te Araroa Trail contains inherent risk. It is quite a high risk thing, and there's no getting around that. So let's talk about that too. Hi, I'm Jenny and I live in Brisbane. That's my home base, and I absolutely love everything to do with hiking, the gear, the planning, the absolutely everything, whether it's a day hike, mountain climbing, long distance hike, multi-week hike. I just love it all. My favorite is alpine terrain, and so I'm absolutely passionate about spending quality time in wilderness. With the regards to these last few weeks, the last month actually leading up to setting off on the Te Araroa Trail, well, I've been feeling quite a few butterflies, and 99% or 95% has just been a bit of nervous butterfly, happy, excited energy. There has been that small bit of anxiety, and as I was speaking with my mountain man this morning, you know, it's funny, it might hit me for all of about 3 minutes, and I'll be, the emotional flood me, how I'm being selfish, leaving our grandson and leaving my husband, and just generally emotionally how I'm feeling. You know, I'm quite focused on a couple of the risky areas on the Te Araroa, and me being me, I know full well when I set foot and actually start hiking, I'll be absolutely fine, but I just thought it was good to talk about it. You know, the weeks leading up to going on a backpacking track and a trip, and in my case it's solo, things can get a bit stressy, because in my situation, you know, I'm combining full-time work, all the commitments to family, to our grandson, extended family, meeting up with my best girlfriends, you know, tying up a lot of loose ends, and YouTube filming. It all has added up to me saying to my husband, every half hour is precious at the moment. I'm up at 20 to 4 in the morning. I'm out training for about 4 hours, come back, start my paid work life, and then I've got everything else on top. So yes, it's been a bit stressful, and in my personal situation with my chronic pain because of the spinal based disability, late afternoons and evenings I'm not able to do anything. So where other hikers would still be able to work into night, I'm not quite in that situation. So I really have had to take every advantage between 20 to 4 in the morning and late afternoon to try and get as much done as possible. So that's a little bit about how I'm feeling. It's mostly good, a little bit of anxiety, and I'm sure that's completely normal. I did want to talk a little bit about the trail angel culture in New Zealand, because as far as I can see, it is quite different to trail culture in other areas of the world like the United States. In New Zealand, they have a beautiful Maori word for it. It's called Koha, and it's spelled Koha if you'd like to look it up. And the whole concept about Koha is when you're a through hiker staying at a Trail Angels place, that they want you to consider it like your extended family home. You know, you're part of their culture, you're part of their family. So from a hiker's perspective, you know, that's got me thinking about, well, how would I deal with that situation when I'm staying with the extended family? Well, yes, I might contribute financially, and yes, I absolutely will be doing that with the Trail Angels, every single one of them. But it's that bigger conversation about, well, if I was staying with family, I'd be helping out with the washing up, I'd be helping out with the cooking, certainly when I'm able to, I'd be wanting to help take care of the property in general. So the concept is to just pitch in, help out wherever you can, because that's your family's home whilst you're staying there. So I've been thinking about that, and gee, we are so grateful to have the Trail Angels. We are so grateful to any of the private property owners in New Zealand for allowing us to walk through. We really appreciate that. So I did want to express that. As far as Trail Angels are concerned, I've managed to put in place Trail Angels for my first 4 sections of the Te Araroa on the South Island. So I'm going to be staying with a wonderful Trail Angel just after I finish the Queen Charlotte track, and then about 2 days into the Richmond Ranges track, I'll be staying with another Trail Angel, and then after I finish the Richmond Ranges, the Trail Angels assure me I'm going to need a big rest, so I'm staying with one after the Richmond Ranges. And then I also have one lined up for the Arthur's Pass section, where a lovely Trail Angel has reached out to me and offered me their family mountain hut to use from a Trail Angel's perspective, same sort of situation. So I'm so grateful for them. Then I thought you might like to hear a little bit about the my filming plans and my scheduling daily episodes up to YouTube, and also my walking schedule. Actually, I might talk about that quickly. So as I said before, 3 months, but my body will dictate how long that is. It'll be at least 3 months, I would think, allowing for weather issues that I have to work around, unstable weather, allowing for my body and how I'm feeling. So I will be walking each section just like every single other person. My philosophy with the Te Araroa Trail is that I want to walk every last inch. I want to experience everything that the trail has to offer, so I won't be missing any parts of the TA. But when I've finished a section, where most through hikers will have 1 0, I'll be having 2 consecutive zeros, which means 3 nights. So that's rather a lot, but there's a number of reasons why I'm doing that. Some of it's to do with my own situation. Some of it's to do that I'm still working full time, and so I still have a commitment to my work for 1 full day, about a 10-hour day in each section. And of course there's the obligation that I've chosen to take on board with all the filming and editing and uploading as well, and then personal care as well, and all the laundry, food supply, all of the normal things that we all do. Well, I've had to put my headset in today because the neighbours are having a good old time next door. They're having a pool party today and it's pretty noisy, so never mind. Now, I thought I might touch on pace and the way that I would like to move through the Te Araroa Trail, because as you know, for every hiker, it's up to you to decide how you'd like to journey through a country. So with the Te Araroa in mind, I've watched, as I've said before, all of the videos over the last 3 or 4 years, but I have particularly focused on a few channels where the hikers are around the same age as I am, and the ones who have been hiking slowly for whatever reason that might be. And so naturally, like probably all of you sitting at home, you know, I've been looking at and thinking, well, yes, I think I could do that. Well, we'll see how that turns out in the wash, but that was my thought process. And the reason I like to hike slowly, well, there's a few reasons for that. And I'm not slow all of the time. Sometimes I can move, you know, between 5 and 6 kilometers an hour with a backpack. But generally speaking, you know, in my own little situation, I have to be very careful with my foot placement. And besides that, you know, I absolutely love alpine terrain. I love hiking in New Zealand. I always have. And I adore being really immersed in wherever I'm hiking. So for me, that means that I'm, you know, really enjoying what I'm hearing around me, what I'm seeing. I'm really immersed in the finer detail. And for me, that's quite often through the lens of my camera, with my photography, or with filming. And I love hike journal writing. And besides, you know, I just really want to soak up the experience. I don't need to rush through this. It's not like I'll be doing this trail again. That is, unless I'm not successful at getting to Bluff this time. So yes, you can expect to see me hiking more slowly. So if we take the Queen Charlotte track for an example, which will be my section 1, most hikers would spend 4 days and 3 nights. In my case, I've seen that and thought, I think that's a little bit fast for me when I'm just starting out. So I'm going to be taking 5 days and 4 nights. And I'm going to enjoy the heck out of the experience. You know, that's why I'm hiking in the first place. So that gives you an example of the timing difference that you'll see following my journey apart from other hikers. Like most long distance hikers, you know, we all usually put in a heap of training in the months leading up, and as you've seen in my training video, I'm no different to that. I have put in a heap of training: elevation training, river crossing training, rainforest terrain training, pack training, strength training, you name it. But still, I still think it's wise to build up your kilometres, especially over the first week to 10 days. So I will be building up my kilometres each day really slowly. And I think actually in day 1, I'm only going to hike a really small amount. You know, I just want to settle into the trail. I've had a pretty stressful lead up just with work and all of life's wonderful things. So I think particularly the first day, I'm just going to take it really easy, not do many kilometres, and then start really developing my pace and kilometres after that. Then, like a lot of older TA hikers, I am choosing to fly back home to Brisbane for Christmas. So I will have a break somewhere around the 22nd of December for around 10 or 11 days. Then I'm going to fly back and continue hiking for around another 6 weeks. And my mountain man's going to fly over. We're going to spend about 5 days at Mount Cook, because that's where we renewed our wedding vows. And so that'll be very special. And then I'll continue hiking until I reach the end. But as far as filming and uploading, so you can expect to see me, you can expect episodes every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then nothing on a Saturday and Sunday. Now I know when I've watched every other single YouTuber's version for the last 4 years, and I do mean every single episode from every single YouTuber, I've looked at how they've chosen to approach that, and I have really appreciated watching it consecutively, watching it all piled into one. That's been a really wonderful and very valuable experience. Some of the YouTubers that I've enjoyed watching over the years, well, there's been heaps of them. Ben Jones, Freedom on the Trail, Gnarly Adventures. Last year, Hiking Revival, Vivian and John. They would be my top 5. Ben's quite a bit younger than me. but the others are sort of all in, oh, and Hiking Revival's younger than me too. But the others are kind of in my age bracket, and so I've appreciated watching all of their tips and tricks and everything, watching their journey and their adventures. So I'm really looking forward to that. So yes, that's going to be my uploading or scheduling episodes itinerary for you. So you will see that I'm aiming not to have any gaps. So I'm allowing for weather windows and all of that sort of thing. So hopefully, you know, the end goal is that you won't have any gaps apart from a Saturday, each Saturday and Sunday, you won't see that. Training, where I'm up to there, you may have seen the training for the Te Araroa video that episode that I uploaded to YouTube a few weeks ago now. I've been training since mid-January, broke up everything into training blocks, doing different things in training blocks. The last 2 blocks have been 6 weeks of elevation and summit training. I've done that, and then the block of training that I'm just wrapping up at the moment is the multi-day hiking, the 4-day, 6-day, 8-day. I've done the 4-day, I've done the second one, I'm up to the 3rd one. Now there's going to be a change for the 3rd one, the 8-day. I've had to bring that back down into a 4-day. There's a number of reasons for that. But basically, you know, I live in Queensland and it is jolly hot now. Today, for example, filming in my house, it's 34 degrees. So in my opinion, as an older hiker, I don't think it's responsible to spend a heap of time hiking under those conditions. And yes, look, I'm up hiking at 4 AM. So I'm trying to get the majority of my hiking done before it gets hot, but still on the last 6 day out, that was definitely a challenge, and I found that I got a lot tireder, and for my particular situation, that puts me at a lot higher risk. So after speaking with my physio and my exercise physiologist, we have decided to dial that back into a 4-day. The reason why I was doing the 8-day though was to carry all of the 9 or 10 days food that I will need for the Richmond Ranges section, and I've carried an 8-day food carry in the past. That's been my hardest food carry, so I'm going to be carrying 9 or 10 days. So I want to test also the main meal, the evening meal. I want to test that, and I want to make sure that I have my weight and all of my gear completely dialed in. So, but 8 days hiking in this heat is just a silly thing for me to be doing at this stage of my preparation. So I'll be hiking for 4 days. So we'll talk a bit about that in another video, but that's a good strategy, I think. Gear-wise, I have changed one item. It's my backpack. Now, I absolutely love my 35-litre Arc'teryx backpack. I used it for my 6-week solo alpine trip. Didn't have any problem. So I'll be carrying the same gear pretty much that I was carrying on that. Same tent, same sleeping bag, same nearly everything. A couple of things have changed from that particular trip. The problem with keeping this backpack for the Te Araroa is I kept coming back to that 9 or 10 food carry on the Richmond Ranges, and so I decided in the end to go with a new pack that's only a little bit bigger, 10 litres bigger. So it's a 45-litre backpack. It's an Atom pack from a cottage industry company in the United Kingdom, and very excitingly I've chosen the custom design option that anyone worldwide can do. And you know, it doesn't cost very much extra. It's only a little bit. I was really surprised about that. But I've been able to choose all my own colours, all my own design features and specifications. And that backpack only arrived yesterday. So I haven't had a chance to film with it yet. I've only just unpacked it out of the box. Haven't filled it with anything yet. I'll be training with it, loaded backpack training, 16 kilos as of tomorrow morning. So you're going to see my gear video coming up soon. I haven't filmed it for that reason. I was waiting for that. Now, I have also had one gear failure. Last multi-day hiking trip, I managed to damage my Big Agnes Tiger Wool Solution Dye 2-person tent. And you know that in the ultralight tents, you have to be really careful with the fabric, whether it's in the bathtub floor, whether it's the walls. And you know what? Didn't damage either of those. I managed to damage 2 of the clips. And I still don't know how I did it because I was being really careful, but one of them is where the pole comes into a round clip on the ground. So, and that round bit split apart. So I damaged that. That was one clip. And the other clip is where the inner and the outer clip together. I damaged one of those. So I chatted with the lovely people at Wild Earth yesterday, and I went in to see them, and I ended up speaking with the fabulous Nathan, and he has been able to find 2 clips that are going to work perfectly well for my tent, and they're currently in the post to me. So I'm very, very grateful to the people at Wild Earth. I didn't want to buy another tent. It wasn't really a financial reason, although the tent's in perfect condition apart from those 2 clips. Fabric's absolutely fine. I absolutely love the colours, the yellow and the white. The new version is in green. And so I was looking to be able to work with my existing tent since it's in such great condition. So anyway, Nathan came to my rescue. Thank you very much, Nathan. So that has been sorted as well. The last category I want to talk through is all about how I'm feeling about the risk, or the risks attached with hiking the Te Araroa Trail. Now, they can't be avoided. There is undeniable inherent risk attached with hiking the Te Araroa Trail. It's one of the hardest through hikes in the entire world. The Americans seem to equate it to the Appalachian Trail in its level of difficulty, so it's not something to be messed with. And in the case of the Te Araroa Trail, most of the deaths that happen each year aren't usually associated with people falling off summits, falling off mountains. It does happen, but it's not where the most risk is attached. The most risk is attached with the river crossings. That's where people drown. That's where people get concussions, hit their heads against rocks, and party's over, unfortunately. So there's an excellent river crossing safety course which is offered on the North Island. Now, I'm going to be hiking the South Island, so I haven't had that opportunity. However, I have reached out to New Zealand Mountain Safety Rescue, and they've been excellent with providing all of the information, both in YouTube episode tutorials and also in a PDF file, emailing it to me, showing me all of the do's and don'ts going through, and I probably will do a separate video on that if I get time, but they've made me feel a lot better about that. It is my most substantial, most significant risk situation. There are no two ways about that, but I'll talk about that in another video. Also, I have had some of you reaching out to me asking if I would explain what my Impossible Possibles project is. And I'm definitely going to dive deep into that. At the moment, I'll just touch on it fairly gently, just to say that, as the name suggests, turning something that's supposed to be completely impossible into something that is possible, and hopefully therefore succeeding and achieving the goal, going through all the personal growth through there. That's what my Impossible Possibles project is about. It is about, quite frankly, things that I'm absolutely not supposed to be able to achieve. However, like all hikers and anyone who's had some physical difficulties or medical difficulties, you know, it's all about the pacing, building up really slowly, going through the ups and the downs and moving forward. Regardless whether you're successful in the end, you know, I hope, like anything that I'm going to achieve, bluff, I'll be very, very upset if I can't. But however, it's about the journey along the way. So I will dive into what that is and my personal story along with it. I think I'll do that on the Te Araroa Trail because right now it just doesn't seem like the right time. So yes, not long, about to fly over to New Zealand. Very, very excited. Can't wait. Feeling some nervous, a little bit of anxiety as well. I'm sure that's completely normal, but anyway, that's it for me. Happy hiking, and I hope to see you on the next video. Please don't feel shy. Drop any questions you have in the comment section. And I can't believe I've got, I think it's 156 subscribers at the moment. That seems insane. I only started the channel I think in May. So thank you so very much all for watching, and bye for now.